Welcome back, everyone, to the Road to NBA 2K19 series. And thank you for your patience too while I'm at it, because it's tough to balance school, homework, basketball, and regular work, my job. It's hard to balance all that and make videos for you guys, quality videos. So I just have to applaud you guys and say thank you if you're still always tuning in to seeing whichever video I upload. Thank you immensely. I have a lot of gratitude to everyone. This channel is also growing faster than I ever would have thought possible. We're almost at 200 subscribers already. Thank you so much for all the support and love. And in this episode, we're beginning off in our preseason tournament. We got 2 games guaranteed that we're going to play. So we are playing for the first time in front of my family, actually. This preseason tournament's taking place in the Prudential Center as I'm getting subbed in for the first time today. And, it's around in my neck of the woods, My hometown's not too far from here, so my family came out, and they're seeing me play for the first time in a college jersey as I get an offensive rebound, but Moses Anaganye decides he wants to be nominee number 1 on Shaqtin' a Fool, throws the ball off the side of the backboard. Would have been a beautiful assist, but unfortunately, things just did not go my way this time, but that might be a common occurrence in this episode. I know we're a very young team, but you'll see what I mean later. Sometimes it feels like these guys that I'm playing with don't have the same kind of mentality as I do. As I'm spinning twice, and I'm making my way into the lane, bobbing and weaving, and we're down early against this unranked Mexico State team. They're a pretty good squad on paper, but it's definitely a winnable game for us. As that first free throw goes for me, as I record my first points of this contest, I'm in the stat sheet. But unfortunately, I wouldn't get too much run here in the first quarter. After this basket to make it a double-digit game, surprisingly, we're down against an unranked opponent. Coach Soccer Smart calls a timeout, and I'm coming out. Down by 5, make that 3, as Justin Proctor puts the ball on the floor and makes the jump shot off the dribble, making it a 1-possession game going into halftime. Just like that, we're already down a half of play, and I didn't play much at all. But this is no time to be worried about me, as we're shooting 34% from the floor. Only reason why we're still in it is that we are driving and getting fouled and making free throws as a team. And I'm not doing so well in this game. I'm still trying to get adjusted into the college game. No field goals made. I have 2 free throws, of course, but 3 missed shots here in this game. It would take over 5 minutes of action for me to get a chance in the second half, but I would. Mitchell Drew gets a rest, and I come in. Leads up to 7 now as I try to attack again. Ball movement comes back to me as I call for a post-up. Robert Saunders wants it in the paint, but he kicks it out to Albert Ford, and that's the type of plays we need to have. We need to have a lot of ball movement against a team like this, because this team was very quick on defense. But speaking of that, I'm showing some foot speed of my own. I force my matchup into a turnover, and I see Albert Ford running down the left wing, but Chris Hines steals the oop. Can you believe that? He gets on the stat sheet himself today as he puts that in, reminding me of Ferran in our plays back in high school. I get wide open again, but my jump shot's just not working today. It's not always going to be there, especially whenever you're a freshman trying to get used to the college game. Good screen there. Give and go. Ashley gives it right back to me, but I can't convert on this one either, and I'm the only one getting back. We didn't show a lot of effort this game on defense. Not at all. I was the only one getting back a lot of the time, and I was really getting frustrated. Now in this play, I give the nice lead pass to Brad Belcher, so I don't give up on the play. But 12 points, 3.5 left to go. It's not looking very bright here, but I do stop Wilkerson on the drive. And I even managed to poke it loose. Brad Belcher gives it up to me. I see Drew, and he gets fouled, thankfully. And I say thankfully because nobody on our team really had a great day shooting. Just being frank, but anyway. A stop and a score would decrease the lead into single digits. About 3 minutes left, and I have another deflection. I poke it loose, and I'm off to the races, and I just managed to get that layup off before their center can chase me down and block me. Rick Pitino, the coach, or the former coach of Louisville, I should say, he doesn't count steals, he actually counts deflections. So there's a little piece of knowledge for you guys, and I don't respond with the best defensive possession, unfortunately. I didn't think Riddle was going to pull it from that far out, but he does. But immediately we get a layup maybe trying to silence that three-point bomb. 59-50 game, 2 minutes to go. Albert Ford fades away and somehow switches that. I wish that was a three. If he was just a couple inches back, that would have been. But still a big shot nonetheless. As I see Mitchell Drew pressuring his man. He's having trouble. Nobody wants to come and help. And in turn leads to a steal for Albert Ford. He gives it to me. I throw it into Mitchell Drew and he blows the easiest layup. The most clean look anybody's had today. Our best player botches it. And it just went all downhill from there. I do get a steal there, and it would turn into a layup, but we were forced to foul, and it was just too little, too late. You see, and ending in a heartbreaking loss here in the preseason tournament. But it's better to have losses like this early on so we can rebound, and not around tournament time. Maybe if worst comes to worst, we're a bubble team, and we want to be excelling at that time of year, so it's better we have these now as we're trying to sort out the kinks. And this is a really big game because we have number 15 Texas and number 18 West Virginia, both suffering losses in the first week of the season. Now theirs was to Tennessee, so that was a little bit of a better loss, you could say. But nonetheless, whoever loses this game might get bounced from the top 25. So this is a big game with some pretty heavy implications here early on. So anyway, checking into the game with about five minutes into it, and I already get an assist to my boy Justin Proctor, who always seems to make good on those passes. And there's another one. 2 early assists here early for me, as Proctor's got his three-point shot rolling here early. We're rocking the black alternates this game. Definitely changing it up from what we normally have, that burnt orange. That is a really nice uniform, but we always need something to change it up. But another missed mid-range shot, which will lead to an alley-oop for them. Now, jumping all the way into the second half, I finally get subbed back in. You know, I didn't get too much run in this game. Mitchell Drew really ran the show. But he would also get fouled and take a couple free throws. That's when I would check in. The freshman getting some clutch minutes, relieving for Mitchell Drew, the golden boy. That I do, and I poke it loose, and I slam it down with 2 hands. It's exactly the type of basket I gotta have, and the type of defensive presence I gotta have if I want to turn around the shooting slump I'm in. Gotta get a few easy baskets before I can get back on track. 68 all, about 4 minutes to go. I get the closing defender in the air. I take it all the way. Tough layup. Definitely should have been an and-one, but hey, I'll take it. That's really my game. Despite the success from three-point land, I really still can't forget about that part of my game too. Now Mitchell Drew takes a big shot here. I just passed it to him because I thought he had a free lane, but he decides to pull it right in the defender's face, giving me a little bit of recognition too for that pass I threw to him. Now Mitchell Drew and I trap their forward. He has to throw it off my leg just to regain possession. That's the type of pressure defense we've got to play down the stretch, but unfortunately Shaka Smart wanted to pull me for a little bit. So 2 minutes to go. 73-70 game. We're all draped all over him. I'm watching from the sidelines, and of course I couldn't do anything about that one. It's making it a 1-point cushion for us. That's it. But Mitchell Drew coming up clutch. The up and under move working well to his benefit. It's a big shot right there, making it a 3-point game once again. 30 seconds left. Drew wants this pick and roll. He crosses over, steps it back, but unfortunately the long arms of that wing player for West Virginia would prove crucial in that defensive stop. But now there's 10 seconds left on that possession. One stop and we win? No. Their point guard stops and pops right in Mitchell Drew's face, and we would be going to our first overtime battle of the season. And look at that, Shaka Smart subbing me in, going with that 2-point guard lineup he seems to like. 75 all, and we would begin overtime. 77 all at this point. We're about a minute in the game. I set a screen for Robert Saunders. I get open, throw the pump fake right back to Saunders, who's moving in the paint. He'll finish the little hook shot inside. 5 assists for me. I almost lose the ball. I regain possession, and throughout the scrum for the loose change, that'll leave Moses Anaganye open under the wing. So I throw another dish inside. Now I'm going to put on the left wing. I jab. I get Mitchell Drew's matchup in the air. A bad move by him. Mitchell Drew, one of the most clutch players in college basketball early on this year, puts in another crucial three. But unfortunately, even with the defense draped all over him, Hugh Hefner comes back and drains a layup, making it an 86-88 ball game. And Mitchell Drew, right when I give him props for being clutch, has a bad turnover. Knotting it up at 88, Hugh Hefner takes it full court. But second in command, Mitchell would not be done yet. I want him to take a pick and roll, but instead he just pops it right in the defender's face. 6 assists for me in 5 minutes of overtime action. And we just need one more stop and we'll remain victorious in this game. I get switched onto a forward. He pops it right in my face from Curry range. I did all that I could. I had the perfect contest, but sometimes good offense just beats good defense. But we still have a chance. I'm pushing it up the floor. I see Anagani. He's been so good today, but he gets blocked in the climax of the game. He gets rejected under the rim. We lose this game, and we come up winless in the preseason tournament. Definitely a heartbreaking loss, and would eventually bounce us from the top 25. But I do record 10 assists for the first time in my career. Only 1 turnover. And we have a tune-up game before our encounter with Deshaun and the #1 Duke Blue Devils against University of Texas Pan American. A team that we should definitely just blow out of the water. We won the tip, so hopefully we win the game. Let's skip until I'm subbed in. This possession was really weird. It's like they just all forgot about me. There was nobody had the ball, and so I just pop it from a little bit outside the paint, and that's how I get on the board. This one will be spiked into the ground. Isaac Ashley with the emphatic block. I move to the corner, throw a little jab at the defender, leaving me just plenty of space. We're moving quickly through this game because this one wasn't never really in doubt, as I recover well on defense there, just doing all the little things I can as that one goes out of bounds off the bottom of the backboard. I got screened, but I still managed to recover fast on defense. This one I take all the way, and once again, another and one that wasn't called, but I'll take it. Now here I'm driving. Pump fake, it's 2 guys up in the air, and the hoop plus the harm will send me to the free throw line. More points for me. This free throw, the icing on the cake, will just give me 9 points to my name for the game. 51-30 game. 7 minutes left in the contest. I move off the screen, and a little extra pass there to Isaac Ashley, who's waiting for it in the corner. Only 2 assists at that point, but I would tack on 2 more. I had a really good game in this one. 10-2-4, chipped in a steal, shot well from the field, and here we go. We're sitting at 2-2 on the year, facing the #1 team in the nation. And who's on that team? Well, you guys already know. It's Deshaun Christian, my hometown friend. He's telling me how the Duke life over there is pretty insane, but how he also feels the pressures of wearing a Duke Blue Devil uniform and playing for Coach K, but he loves the spotlight, so I know he's got no problem with it. Putting in 8 points on the year, having a very solid freshman campaign so far. They're 6-1 on the year. Their only loss was an upset loss to an unranked opponent. Maybe we can come in and be that second loss on the year. That's the goal, but it's going to be hard, especially in a little stadium called Cameron Indoor. That's no easy feat to step in here and get a win, especially against the #1 team in the nation. But it's all good though. Led by All-American Julian Renfro and All-Conference players Travis Coggins and Angelo Ames, with the freshman sensation Deshaun Christian. This might be the hardest test of the whole season, but let's get it underway. I'd eventually check in about, little bit about halfway through the first. Deshaun would drive baseline, but he would end up charging Isaac Ashley, the Cameron Crazies, expressing their displeasure with that call, but that would get me in the game. We're definitely staying strong with them so far. 5-point game as I record my first theft of the game, and I kick it out to Mitchell Drew, who bangs that 3. 1 possession game. We're staying strong with these Blue Devils. Chris Hines would try his luck beyond the arc, and Well, actually, a foot on the line, but he gets to go regardless. Now I get screened here. I don't close out on Coggins fast enough, and unfortunately, that's just the type of team we're facing. These guys can shoot the lights out from anywhere on the court, and they have a lot of sharpshooters, but Coggins would then eventually turn the ball over. I'm running on the break. I take it baseline. I stop short. The friendly shooter's touch would go my way as I get on the board here. 31-25. 3.5 left to go as I almost tip it loose. But in all of this confusion, Travis Coggins gets open on the wing, and it's a 33-25 game. But that jump shot would not go unanswered as I throw in a dime to Brad Belcher, putting down the two-handed flush on top of Royce Nixon. Maybe that'll shift the momentum to our side a little bit before the half. That would be ideal, as it's a 6-point game, and I would force Travis Coggins to step on the backcourt line. We get an extra possession. That's just another example of me trying to do the little things, but unfortunately that'd be the end of my run in the first half, and things would go a little bit south, as whenever I got subbed out, our defense just wasn't as strong, and it would be a 38-29 game. They're shooting 60%. Definitely that's something we need to improve on, but we're doing well in other assets. We're almost sticking with them in the rebounds, and they have more turnovers than we do. This play has got me open a couple times, and now it gets open. Robert Saunders on the baseline, me throwing that assist to him as he makes good on the 15-foot jump shot. Now we ran on the left side, now we're running it on the right side. This time I'll take this three, and I'll bang it home. The confidence from beyond the arc has been higher than it's ever been since I was a little kid shooting threes. I've never really had that in my game, but those late nights in the gym are really paying off. I cross over Coggins, and there's another layup that goes in. I'm fighting through contact in there. Even though I'm only about 150, 160 pounds as a skinny freshman, I'm still putting some work underneath the basket, putting the ball over those tall trees down there. Ball reversal will go to Justin Proctor, and unfortunately he does not make good on this three. It seemed like the later we got in the game, the less successful we were as a team from shooting, and the more shots we missed, the more the Cameron crazies got, crazy, and it all culminated into this dunk right here. The Sean Christian, the hometown friend, embarrassing me on national television, putting that hammer right on me. No mercy, apparently, and hey, I don't blame him. But at least I actually ran back and I showed hustle. I don't know who was on Julian Renfro there. I'm actually trying to show effort here, but it seems like my teammates aren't giving me the same kind of effort back in exchange. It's not reciprocated, unfortunately, as Chris Hines misses another layup in wide open underneath the basket as a Duke forward, and this game's quickly getting out of control as the lead swells to 20, and I set a screen, I get open, and I would knock this one down too. That play's been getting me open pretty consistently, which I'm thankful for. But later on in the game, it'll just be a little too late as I close out there. But watch this play right here. Look at this. Underneath the basket, we have two forwards down there, and they just keep getting out-rebounded over and over again. And I force up a layup here, I won't lie. But I didn't give up on the play, though. I'm not giving up on the game until the final buzzer sounds. It's just kind of the mentality I have as I put in a layup after I sneakily stole the outlet pass. But, of course, too little, too late. Chris Hines missing another jump shot. Things are going south here pretty early in UT County as we lose by 23 to a Duke team that we were competing with for a long time. It just seems that whenever we started to miss shots, things did not go our way. Deshaun had a pretty good all-around game, including the poster he put down right on my head. But moving on to the very next game, we have a game against Southern Methodist. We're below 500, looking to get back on track. This should be a win. SMU's had some good teams recently, but we're at home back in front of these adoring fans, and the name of the game is just to get wins, and that's what we're going to try to do here today against a team that we should beat. So, down early, down 16-11. Our offense is struggling this game as I put it down inside to Isaac Ashley. He gets blocked. This was another game where the effort was just not lacking when it came to my teammates. I mean, look at this. Isaac Ashley dropping the pick and roll attempt I try to throw in there. I want to get the ball to these guys. They just don't give me the effort I need. And if you want to rewind that, you'll see that that pass was not deflected. It just went right off his hands. I get a lane and I flick it back to Albert Ford, but he's short on that three-point attempt. We do get the basket, but that pass was so nice. These guys are just not hitting these dimes. I don't get it. But it's okay. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And getting back to the team, I mean, the lead would be above single digits to SMU. We need to beat a team like this. And I pop another one off that same play that we run frequently. There's another jump shot for me. I've started to overcome that cold streak I was on for a couple games there. Now I have a big man on me. I take it to the basket, just narrowly missing an and-one opportunity. But hey, I'll take these 2 free throws, and I'll make good on them. 27-19 game. We haven't even cracked 20 points in the first half, but Justin Proctor would finally put us over the 20-point threshold. We barely made it over, as it's a 31-23 game going into the intermission. Very sloppy game. Only shooting 40%, of course. Turnovers have been a bit of a problem, but you know, the only way to go is up, and that goes for Isaac Ashley too, as he gets on the board here. And I'm pressuring the ball handler. I strip their point guard. I take it to the basket, pump him out of his shoes, and make good on the finger roll layup, as I just ripped his pocket and made him look silly on the other end of the floor. I'm trying to show that effort. I'm trying to get more minutes from Coach Smart, as there was no hesitation on this three. I cannot believe how far my three-point shot has come in such a small amount of time. But, you know, I try not to think about that kind of stuff. I just kind of let the game come to me. And three-pointers have been coming to me, so I continue to take them. If I start struggling again, then I'll definitely pull it back. But so far, it's been working out for me. As you see on the last play, Isaac Ashley getting pump faked out of his shoes. The effort's just not there, especially from our big men. And look at this dime. How about that? Chris Hines rolling to the basket, and I find him just under the basket. I just fit that one in there. 52-45 game. We actually have to come back on SMU. Pretty crazy. This is the stage that we're at already in the season. I mean, it's one thing to, you know, have to get the team chemistry down and everything, but it's another to be losing to teams like this. As I give the ball to Chris Hines, he does a little dribble drive and rewards me with the assist. Get the ball on the top of the key. Little V-cut. They're leaving Hines wide open, which is pretty surprising despite the shooting slump we've been in as a team as of late. 54-50 ball game. I'm calling for a pick, and Aganye sets a good one. And I throw a little Steve Nash type pass. Quick little flick of the wrist, throwing him a bounce pass in there as he rolls, and there was nobody on him as I got double teamed. Just wrapped it right around the defender, and we're right back in this game. I'm getting a lot of minutes in this second half. Freshman getting key minutes, as this is probably the best game of my short career so far. Mitchell Drew couldn't make that shot, but hey, Anaganye has his back, as Anaganye had a really good bounce back effort in this one. 54 game. I fight off that screen. I go in a crash. Good rebound. Good defensive effort overall on that possession. As I lob it up, Chris Hines will tap that one in. Another assist to my name. 57 all now at this point in the ball game. 1:45 left in the second half. It's really a shame that it's come down to this point in the game, but hey, Anaganye giving me another assist. That'll be 7 on the ball game, as that's a very clutch shot, and he would not be done. Getting the friendly roll off of the jump hook with 2 guys draped all over him, making it a 61-57 ball game. They need a basket bad. Kicking it out to their forward, who steps out. Didn't think he had that shot in him, but hey, with a foot on the line, he makes it a 2-point ball game. Eventually, they keep fouling me, and here we go. Can the 3-star freshman from Brooklyn, New York, make this free throw? Yes, he can. Can he come up clutch and make 2 of 2 to potentially seal the game and make it a 4-point cushion with 14 on the dot to go? And he does. 63 to 59. That would be your final score. A big win here as we avoid the upset. Maybe we can get back on track. Non-conference play starting to wind down as I had a really good game in this one. 10 and 7, 2 steals. Did have 3 turnovers, but I shot well from the floor. All in all, pretty decent game. Definitely should have beat SMU by a lot more than we did, but hey. We got 3 more games left. The only one I'm going to show you guys, though, is the TCU game, because Oakland and UCF would just be like any other game. But the TCU game, finally, one game before conference play, and I get my big break. Shaka Smart's been doing a lot of 2 point guard sets in the last couple games with me and Mitchell Drew, and he thinks that it's working well, so he wants to try it in the TCU game. So in the next episode, you guys will see my first collegiate start. In the next episode, we'll also see how my hometown friends are doing on their respective college teams. Stay tuned. Champion. Fueled by 16 blocks overall, Wilt had a very inspired effort to bring home the championship to his name.